then unfreeze them and then sell them to you. And then the moment it get on your kitchen cabinet, if you don't eat it the same night, you come back out the next night, you start seeing all mycelium networks come from fungus, mold, they grow in mushrooms. And you're like, I just bought this 2 days ago. So now you even starting to see the organic food, become very, very, very damaged overnight because the freezing and unfreezing process they're doing to preserve it. So the best thing we should do is we come together as a community and grow and eat our own food.
Let me just follow up question real quick, Ian, on that fruit. I've been hearing that fruit is not necessarily good for you either because it spikes your sugar. And some fruits are better than others. Like the darker the fruit, the better. But then they're saying that blueberries has a lot of, you got to make sure you wash it really good because it could be contaminated. So fruit, right?
Right.
If you eat too much fruit, is that bad for your sugar levels? What fruit should you stay away from? Like how much fruit? Like what's the deal with the fruit?
Okay, fruit. We are naturally frugivores, just biologically speaking. We come from a frugivore diet. I mean, if you look at anything in nature that even resemble us, they mostly eat a frugivore diet. I would say this: a fruit spikes certain people's blood sugar. Like for instance, if you are susceptible to diabetes 1, 2, or 3, which is Alzheimer's disease, I would tell you, do not juice your grapes. Because if you juice your grapes and you take away all the fiber, it does spike your blood sugar. So if you juicing, I would say fruits. If you got fatty liver disease, it'll be an issue. But if you got diabetes without fatty liver disease, fruits will heal you from your diabetes because it's not taking the pancreas route. You allow your pancreas to rest, them islands of Langerhans inside the pancreas to rest, and it takes the liver route. And that's the reason why we check your liver, your ALT and your AST enzymes and your AFP enzymes. And we do a urinalysis on you before I put you on a fruit juice diet if you do got fatty liver. And we checking your total cholesterol, your HDL, LDL, and your triglycerides. That'll let me know if the liver fatty or not. And I say, well, you should do fruits or not. But fruits have a natural occurring sugar in it called monosaccharides and polysaccharides. These are simple sugars. We all need these sugars. You would die without sugar. Matter of fact, the cell loves sugar and it chooses glucose over everything in fats. So ketones and sugars, what the cells need to utilize, break down to get energy. The issue is when other organs in your body is already compromised and then you go on these high sugar diets, like high sugar juicing diets. So what I tell everybody is to make sure you eat your fruit whole, because if you eat your fruit whole, you're getting all of the fiber with it. And what fiber does, fiber slows down sugar. So if you eat an apple, yes, the apple have high sugar in it, but the fiber from the skin of the sugar mixes with the sugar and it slows the sugar, the way it breaks down and be released into the bloodstream, it slows it down way more. So, on the juicing tip, if you doing high sugar juices like grape juice and orange juice and stuff like that, yeah, like spike your blood sugar, and it wouldn't be good for you if you got fatty liver disease. So I would stay away from it then, but I would never tell anybody to stay away from holistic fruits because fruits is what heals. Fruits is what open up the detoxification pathways. Fruits has got to have that structured HTO2 structured end zone exclusion water in it. We got cellular memory in it. Fruits are the only thing that we can eat that have its own DNA. It got mineral content when it goes through photosynthesis, everything in it itself. So you can eat a fruit and get the water from it, get all the phytonutrients, get all the minerals, and get all the amino acids you need just from a specific fruit. So I don't think fruit is bad. I think that our organs are bad and have been compromised from eating the way we've been eating for hundreds, even thousands of years. And now we're trying to get on the fruit diet. So we have these very dramatic detoxification responses from the fruit. And just like the allopathic community teaches us that these detoxification responses are disease, we think that the fruit is bad for us because it's making us feel bad. No, it's detoxifying you, putting all of those toxins in the bloodstream to move it over to the plasma to get to the lymphatic system. And then by way of the lymphatic system, that's the way you clean the sewage system of the body to get rid of all the metabolic waste. Sugar is simple sugar, monosaccharides, polysaccharides. When you start getting into your maltose, your dextrose and things like that, these are complex sugars. These are sugars that's hard to break down. And these are sugars that crystalline inside the actual body. And you see that with malt liquor. You see that with your heavy alcohol. These are down because it's already fermented, meaning they already have a sugar base, and it mixes with your body and it goes through methylation. And then you start seeing fruits. And everybody have their own tolerance. It's an art to heal own unique fingerprint to their body. So fruit might raise, but I eat that same fruit and it won't raise mine, or to raise mine and mine will go down and level itself out in the next hour or two. But I don't want to make no mistake about this. Anything we eat will raise your blood sugar. That's the whole point. And that's the whole point of the pancreas, and the pancreas creating beta cells to produce insulin to act as a key mechanism to unlock the cell door to allow sugar in, but we can burn that sugar for energy. So no matter what you eat, your blood sugar is going to spike. Diabetes is when the blood sugar stays spiked for a period amount of time and it never go down. And this messes up something called the glycocalyx inside of our body. The glycocalyx is this protein sugar base that lines the arteries, that protects your blood vessels, and it basically keep nitric oxide into the blood vessels to make sure all the goodies and all of the nutrients and phytochemicals are getting into the cells to keep your molecular structure strong. So I wouldn't say fruits are bad. I would say the body is bad. Fruits is trying to help the body. And we have been programmed to think that detoxification crisis is a bad thing because you start coughing, you start feeling bad, you might break out in hives, you might throw up, you get diarrhea, and all these things are associated with what they call viruses and what they call disease. And just our indoctrination of the allopathic community and the pharmaceutical companies, we think it's a bad thing. But fruits are not bad at all. If you really get educated in the way that your body naturally detox, you will see exactly what the fruit's doing is healing.
What advice do you give to the person who wants to go on this journey, but let's say their family or the people in their house don't support it and telling them you don't need to do that? What insight would you give them to be able to make it through a 90-day or 120-day cycle?
Love yourself more than you love your family. Simply. Love yourself more than you love your family. Love yourself more than you love your family. And then usually the people that's trying to keep you from it, they're indoctrinated and you're woke, and you have to understand that indoctrinated people or sleep people don't understand woke people. So it automatically makes them seem negative, and they not being negative at all. They're being exactly what they're supposed to be, indoctrinated and programmed. And once that program is reprogrammed and they're re-educated, they become like you. So be the light. Go through it, love yourself more than them. And once they see your results, then the eureka moment will happen for them. And then next thing you know, your whole family is following you. It's the exact same thing that happened to me. My whole family went against me. I lost all that weight. They said, what you got? Caught the package? You sick? You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you? Why you? Yeah, you turned Muslim. It was so many things thrown out to me. And then I kept going through it. I never minded them. I love myself more. I really wanted to see myself feel better. And then once that radiation, that radiant skin came, that glow came, that weight loss came, I'm thinking better. My cognitive functioning is firing off. They like, yeah, what was it? You make me some? Even my mama. Well, you know, I've been suffering from high blood pressure. What you do to get rid of your high blood pressure medication? So I healed my mama, then my sister, then my brother, then my neighborhood. And then that's how I end up getting in contact with the NBA player that got me in contact with everybody else. Mm-hmm. So you got to do what's best for you. Not saying neglect your family, but understand that we are all individuals and have an individual consciousness, even though we are part of a great conscious network. And the best decision you can make is choosing yourself first. And every time you choose yourself first in any situation, it will never backfire, and it will always bring people to you that you need to be around.
You said you lost 60 pounds in 2 days?
No, not 2 days. Oh, no, that'd be crazy. I probably died. But it was like a week and a half.
So you lost 60 pounds in a week and a half.
Yes.
How that happen?
Man,
talk about that, because somebody here, you lost 60 pounds in 10 days. They like, that's impossible.
Yeah, everybody say that, but no.
How'd you lose 60 pounds in 10 days?
So I was for one, it was a bunch of water weight, and it was a bunch of accumulation of inflammatory responses. I just went through this again where I lost 40 pounds in 2 months? I just lost 40 pounds 2 months. I know the last time y'all seen me, I had a puffy face and everything.
You lost a lot of weight.
This is no Ozempic, no nothing. This is purely going back on what I did the first time. I did the first time. I lived my life. It was beautiful. I built this millions of communities, healed a bunch of people, but I started backtracking and started doing what I wanted to do, and I wasn't practicing what I was teaching. You know, I got big into my teaching and I started falling off and eating bad vegan food. So I ended up being inflamed. So I had to go back to the basics and get back down to my weight and become my message again. And I just applied the same principles and did the same thing. If you're inflamed and you're full of toxins, you open the floodgates. When you open the floodgates, it's going to be diarrhea. You're going to be throwing up. You're going to be sweating. You're going to be doing all these things to get rid of the toxins. Once the inflammation and the water weight leave, that's half your weight right there. The next is waste. The waste going to come out through your urine and come out through your poop and come out through your skin. If you look real close at my face, you can still see the black spots from when my skin broke out real bad during this last detox I went through. It came through everywhere. So I lost 40 pounds in like a month and a half, 2 months just off of that. And then I was working out and doing metabolic workouts with it. So yes, we did. I lost about 60 pounds in about, I'm going to say, I'll even give it 2 weeks. It wasn't more than 2 weeks, though. And the first thing I lost was all the water weight. I got on diuretics, and what I call a diuretic would be dandelion leaf and dandelion root. I mixed that. I did tonics, I did tinctures, and I did teas. It had me urinating so much that I got rid of liters of just water waste. After that, all of my inflammation went away. That my inflammation alone was like 10 pounds of inflammation. I'm not even talking about weight. I'm just talking about being inflamed and having all of those tissues full of water and full of lymphatic fluid. Then I got rid of lymphatic lymphatic waste. I got rid of mucus, and then I got rid of all of that bulk waste. And I was pooping out worms that had 6 heads, y'all. So in 2 weeks, I went through one of the most major detoxification crises I've ever been through in my life. I thought I was going to die, but I made it through it. My teacher at that time was telling me the same thing I'm telling y'all now. No, you're not dying. You're actually healing. It's called a detoxification crisis. You're getting rid of the waste. It's better out than in. In 2 weeks, man, I was down 60 pounds.
But how do you, because
No, go ahead.
I saw, and I'm gonna get your products as well because I need it. But I saw this thing on Instagram, and it was like a soursop thing, and it was like, all right, you get soursop, and you're going to see tapeworms in your stool, the whole thing. So I'm like, I never detoxed before, so I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I think it helped a little bit, but I didn't see any worms. It didn't have the dramatic effect of that detox, like what you're describing is like a detox, and you flushing out the tapeworms and all this stuff. Like, how does one go about doing that?
Well, you got to do it the right way too. You got to set the moment, and then you probably, and I don't know you, brother. I don't know your biology like that, but you're probably so full of waste that the waste got to come out first before you see the worms come out. When you look at worms and you look at parasitics like Toxoplasma gondii, Fasciola, Fasciolopsis, boyski, nematodes, fluke worms, hemith worms, hookworms, thread worms, they not in the open like that. Tapeworms are in the open. You got to pull these things from the wall of your intestines. They don't have teeth. They suck onto the wall of your intestines, and then they throw up this acid to break down your tissues. Once the tissue's broken down, they wiggle themselves inside the tissues, and then they plant their eggs, and they go through something called a larva migration period. So until you dig that deep, no worms are coming out. And then you got to make sure you're taking it with a binder, because when you kill these parasites, they go through something called parasitic lysis, where they explode. And when they explode, all of their DNA and all of their trauma, that waste go inside your system. And a lot of people get viral loads from this. This is where you see herpes come in at any viral load. I don't believe in an actual virus. I've never seen a virus live under a microscope ever in my life. And I'll pay anybody 20 grand to show me a live virus on a microscope that's not drawing up, because I believe that most of these things come from within inside of the body, exosomes and lysosomes. I think it comes from within us. I believe that if it is a virus, it was in fact man-made in a laboratory, and it was used as biological chemical weapons of warfare. So when you see these parasites, you got to dig deep to get them out. So I tell everybody, we tell everybody, give me 16 to 21 days. If you cleanse right and you do everything I say, you'll see your first parasite, especially with people that's dealing with like herpes and things like that, because that's greatly associated with Candida albicans, deep Candida thrust, and it's dealing with Fasciola and Escherichia parasite. You can't tell me any disease you can name, I can give you the parasite for it. For instance, diabetes, that come from Pancreaticum uretrema fluke worm. Pancreaticum uretrema fluke worm. When you start talking about MFs and multiple sclerosis, them are nematodes. They physically found nematodes in the spinal fluid of all MS patients that they gave their body back to science. When we talk about MS, multiple sclerosis, when they have lesions on their brain, they found in 2 studies in China, those lesions was actually a dead pinworm in the brain that calcified. There wasn't even lesions. It was dead parasites on the brain. You see that? So any place in your body, and the parasites is not to blame. The parasites love trash. They love waste. They're pleomorphic. So if you can fix the terrain and fix the environment where the body's in, then the parasites won't even come in the first place. But to answer your question, though, it'd be to set it. You got to give yourself time. You got to think about it, brother. Like me being 36 years old, right? I ate horrible my whole life up until I was 21. I haven't even lived that in full yet on the other side. You see that? What I'm saying? I'm not 42. I'm not 41. So it takes that long to truly, fully heal. I got rid of my symptomologies, but I still be feeling traumatic pains and stuff like that. I just had to get my whole mouth reconstructed, y'all. I got my jaw broke and shattered when I was 16. They had to take the metal out of my face and put in human bone because the metal was leaking into my bloodstream. And I ended up developing a liver cyst from the nickel and the titanium that was in my mouth. I teach against getting your mouth fixed. I teach against dental implants. I had to get it because they had to remove all my teeth to remove the bone, to remove the metal, to put human bone back into me. I got somebody else's bone in my face, y'all. You see what I'm saying? So it takes a while. What you do when you're younger affects you for the rest of your life. And a lot of us are just going to be cleansing for the rest of our lives. And I'm one of those persons that's going to be cleansing and detoxing for the rest of my life to undo the things I did when I was younger. And I'm just trying to warn the younger generation, you don't have to be like that if you get it right now.
For the audience, what are the top 5 foods that causes parasites?
The top 5 foods. Now, this is going to blow your mind. Meat causes a lot of the very, very damaging parasites. Vegetables have so many parasites in them. berries, like strawberries, blueberries, a lot of parasites. I know y'all think I've just been blaming it on the meat, but no, parasites in anything that's living or that was once living. And that's the reason why anywhere in any other country, or what they call third world countries, quote unquote, they do parasitic cleanses every season, because everybody know that you're a biological living entities, and parasites need biological living hosts to live in, to travel from place to place. So every food, there is not no top food, is every food. If you're eating living food, it's going to have parasites in them.
Sushi? 'Cause I've been seeing that. I've been seeing
sushi and oysters, sushi's, oysters, fish, and sushi's, oysters, fish, and chicken is my number top four. Fact, my bad. Sushi's, oysters, fish, pork, and chicken. That'd be my top five. Definitely pork, because pork have a bunch of tapeworms in them as well. Then will be my top five. But we got top five, and we got top fives in fruits. It'll be blueberries, it'll be strawberries, it'll be bananas, it'll be watercress. Watercress have so many parasites in them. It'll be watercress, and it'll be figs. Bunch of parasites in them.
So how do you get rid of, because what you described is every food,
Everything.
right?
Pretty much.
How does one go about, or can you, it's just unavoidable, that's why you need to do the cleanse to get rid of it?
Exactly, brother. So it's unavoidable, but you do have devices that people are selling now, and a lot of people wash them the best they can with vinegar and baking soda, what you'll call sodium bicarbonate. That'll get the surface ones out, but you ain't gonna miss the parasites. That's the whole point of detoxification and cleansing. We have to detoxify our bodies. God created our body to heal itself. We have three major systems in our bodies. The blood feeds the cells of the body. The lymphatic system cleanses the cells of the body. The nervous system commands and talks and communicates with the cells of the body. God created you with a lymphatic system and a lymphatic system for a reason, because you were made to detox, because the world is toxic. Even if we go back to the beginning, before there was a dirty electricity, before there were artificial lights, before there were cell phones, before there were all the environmental pollutants, you still had to detoxify, because what you eat have to be broken down and have to utilize energy. Whenever you utilize energy, there's a byproduct that's created from it. I can eat all the fruits I want in the world. It can be alkaline forming in the world. It's going to create these byproducts that if I don't get rid of, is going to become toxic. Toxicity then drives deficiency. Deficiencies then drives adaptation. Adaptation drives mutation of the cells. So whether we in the perfect world or not, if I'm eating, the energy I'm consuming have to burn up that food. The byproduct of that burn is same thing. If you get a car and you need to put gas in the tank, what's coming out of the tailpipe once you start the car up? But you just use the most premium gas ever. So to burn and utilize energy, you create toxic byproducts. When God created beautiful, the byproduct of it was what, y'all? Something was ugly. When God created up, down came from it. It's duality, light, darkness. That's what happens in life. It's the pendulum. It swings back and forth. So we can speak healthy all we want. If we don't know how to detoxify and open up our elimination pathways, that's what makes you sick.
I definitely want to try. I want to do this. I want to do this because I've been wanting to do a cleanse for a long time. I ain't think it's nothing in particular that I need. I feel like I need, but I just, because a friend of mine went to Dr. Sebi's his compound when he was still alive in Honduras.
Dr. Sebi, man, rest his soul.
Yeah, for sure. Because my mom actually. So my mom, this is like 30 years ago, maybe longer, maybe like 35 years ago, and she had a lot of health problems. She was kind of overweight, and this is when he was actually living in New York. So he used to have a spot in Brooklyn, and she went to him, and she lost like a lot of weight, and she became a vegetarian. She's been vegetarian ever since. So I had heard about Dr. Sebi like 95, 94, because she was actually one of the people that was actually under his tutelage in person when he was still allowed to be in America. So I had always been aware of this, but it's like life happens, and you kind of, like I said, I never really went too far. I think my diet is pretty good, but I definitely want to do the detox because I just feel like it would be beneficial.
Well, look, do this for me, brother. Let my team send you the detox. I send it for free. I send all of y'all some books. I don't expect y'all to read this whole big thing all at once, but just choose the topic and dive in on it, man. And you see how enlightening this thing is, man. So once we get done, we can talk to my assistant and we'll get info. I'll send y'all out some stuff as early as tomorrow, and I'll send y'all some books and stuff. And let's do it. And then the beautiful thing about the book, the last chapter, is the actual diet and the guide. It tells you what to do from when you wake up in the rising, every hour of the hour to when you go to sleep. And it tells you what scientifically is happening in your body if you take my herbs and you do the diet with it. So I think it'll help y'all out a lot.
No, I appreciate it, man. So yeah, definitely talk about the book. Talk about, you have a clinic, right?
Yeah, yep. I got a clinic. We just bought a school, 38,000 square feet. We opened it up May the 5th. We opened it up May the 5th. It's
Congrats.
done. We had all of our inspections done. That's beautiful. Yeah, man, we got so much stuff going on. But yeah, I just bought a school out there in St. Louis, Missouri. Right,
a school for children or a school like for adults?
No, it's a school for teenager and adults, for teenager and adult, and it's for them to come and learn alternative ways of healing and learn from our different perspective and from our own educational standpoint. Because we understand when you talk about science, even when you talk about mathematics, you talk about health, you talk about wellness, and even economics, it's all from a cultural view or a cultural standpoint. And depending on the lens that the culture you're looking through, it means different things. And I talk about the power of defining a lot, because whoever have the power to define a thing, that things then stick and make an impression in the world, and it is what it is. So the power to define in the allopathic community is there's a such thing as, incurable diseases. There's certain diseases that you can get that's not curable. They define that. But from our cultural aspect and me having my hands in the field, I redefine that. No, it's not a disease, it's a dis-ease. And this dis-ease is coming from blocked energy, from metabolic toxic and waste. And my body is now trying to detoxify itself. When it's detoxifying, it's giving me these symptoms. And then these symptoms is what they label disease, but I'm labeling it a healing mechanism. And I show all the sources, the articles, and the science to back up everything I say. So this book is to change your perspective. That's the reason why it's called Healing the Illusion We Call Disease, the Bible of Health. It's to change your perspective. I'm changing the way we define words, because the way you define words changes your belief, and your belief truly scientifically changes your biology. So if you get diagnosed with cancer by the allopathic community, they say you got cancer. They tell you that cancer is a genetic thing. It's a mutation. It's a virus. And they say you got to hack off some things, or you got to get chemotherapy to burn them out. You got to get mutilated and all these other things. You got to go to war. You have to go to war with your body because you believe that your body is going to war and attacking itself. I teach that cancer is a tumor, which is a fleshly trash bag. This fleshly trash bag is made to put toxins in, because the toxins can't stay in the tissues or stay in the bloodstream because it will kill you quicker. So the body was uniquely created by God to say, hold on, I got all these toxins accumulated in the body. It can't go in the bloodstream because I'm going to die of acidosis. So let me create this fleshly trash bag, go through something called tumor genesis, put all of these toxins in this trash bag until you do something with it. So I teach you how to take out the trash. I don't teach you chemotherapy. I don't teach you cyclones, weapons of warfare. I don't teach you to hack and mutilate your body. I teach you how to open up those detoxification pathways. And then when people do that, 98% of them, the tumor shrinks and dissolves. Why? Because you got rid of the trash. There's no longer a need for the trash bag. So it's a different perspective. And that's what we need, cultural perspective. Our people have the biggest cultural identity crisis on earth. And that's why we involved in everybody else's cultures. We believe in it and we get sick and we die from it, while every other culture profit from our declining culture. Mm-hmm. So the power to define is one of the most powerful things that we have to take control of. And that's why I'm so appreciative for 19 Keys, my brother, for even introducing y'all to me. Y'all platform is so big. Y'all are a big part of that culture where y'all can help redefine certain meanings to help mold and shape the consciousness of our people. We don't have to look at math the same way everybody else do. We don't have to look at health and education and economics the same way that everybody else do, because everybody else don't look at the same way that everybody else do. We the only people that grab and follow everybody else when we have our own identity, we have our own languages, we have our own cultures, we have our own everything, but it's been stripped from us. So since we don't know it, we allow people to tell us who we are, what we are, when we are, and why we are, and where we are. So this book just comes to debunk that and to give you your true power back. And it leaves you with the choice to either change or not. But at least you know.
Yeah, at least you know. Powerful, brother.
That's impactful, man. Can you give them the website, your social media, how to get information about the school, the whole rundown?
Yeah, and what products to get from you as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So anybody for this particular segment, it'd be the parasite elimination kit. Since we dive deep into that, I say utilize all the free resources on the website. Go to the education tab, click on the Eat to Live page. If you want to get into the clinic is booked up right now. We open back up to May 5th, but we're going to be booked for like 3 months because we already got it's probably like 430 people just on the waiting list. So we got to book them all up. But just stay on yakiawaken.com, www.yakiawakened.com. That's where I sell the book at. I don't sell the book on Amazon. There's thousands of people pretending to be me that is not me. If it ain't got 1 million followers, or at least over 500,000 followers with a blue check, I promise you it's not me. I don't respond to inboxes. I get like thousands of inboxes a day. If they communicating with you to you beyond my website, that's not me. It's people getting you for your money, family. And to me, it's just crazy how y'all let these people get y'all, but y'all find the right person when it's time to complain about how y'all got. I don't get that. Find me to say I got scammed, but they couldn't find me before that. So I'm still trying to work that out in my spirit mind. But on social media, when you go to YouTube, Yaki Awaken, it's a verified blue check on the page. On Instagram is Yaki Awaken, verified check blue page. On Facebook is Yaki Rafa Elohim, verified check blue page. They kicked me off TikTok. They won't let me join back, so I do not have a TikTok. All of those on me. We got over 470 million views on TikTok. None of it's me. It's all people just regurgitating my content and recycling. Yeah. Shouts out to y'all for it. The ones that's not getting money, shouts out to y'all for it. That means y'all really believe in the information. But my website is my point of contact. It's how you get to me. We stationed in St. Louis, Missouri. The school will be open May 5th. We're going to do a whole cameo on that and have people come down. We have released that. We got a big retreat coming up. There's a lot of stuff going on. So just keep up with me through my website and through my verified blue check pages on social media. But I promise you, y'all, Healing Illusion we call disease. I just got a bunch of copies in. We're starting to ship them off now. This will change the world and will change the way that we think about our bodies and our connection with Earth, the Sun, and God, y'all.
Nah, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna connect with your team offline.
Yeah,
I definitely want that kit. And then I just had a question. I'm gonna ask you offline. I'll connect because a friend of mine actually knew that you was coming on, and he wanted me to ask you a question, but it's kind of like a personalized question. So if you have time, I'll send it to your team, and then yeah. But
all right, I got time for you. All right, and I'm gonna have her hit y'all up. We're gonna send it to y'all. I'm gonna send y'all the books. And when I know y'all busy like me, but when y'all get time, just read a page and tell me what y'all think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through it.
Nah, we'll do, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, my brother.
All right, peace.
He's about to say something. All right. Oh, he's good. Are they trying to say something?
Yeah. April said, can you drop the email or contact in the chat so she can call you real fast?
Okay, Troy, can you drop your email?
Put mine in this though.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace, family. Thank y'all. Peace.
Thank you, man.
Peace. All right.
Amazing conversation.
That was insightful,
Yeah,
man.
super insightful, yo.
That was very insightful, man.
And he's another one of the ones like he's Budgetista. They don't need much prompting. That's a great lesson for your brand. Talk through your points. Be passionate, be on target, share information that most people haven't heard. Because I heard the same thing about the sushi with the parasites, but I didn't know that were vegetables. So even in how he delivered the information, in each segment, he was sharing something that most people didn't know. Absolutely brilliant, brother, for real.
Yeah, I mean, you always know if somebody knows their stuff, they don't ask like, what's the questions that you're going to ask me or ask me these particular questions. Just like, yo, whatever y'all want to talk about, let's just go. And then it's not just like a one word answer. It's like, a detailed answer. So that definitely lets you know. But yeah, I mean, it's insightful. It's important. I feel like especially for a lot of our audience, obviously, entrepreneurs and people that's interested in money and investing. But A, it makes no sense to get money if you're not healthy enough to even enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And B, just on the pursuit of actually becoming successful in business and you got to have the energy. Like,
absolutely.
There's a reason why most CEOs are physically fit and they work out and stuff like that. Like, you don't really see a lot of obese CEOs at a Fortune 500 level. Rare. Like, you have to, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And you got to have the mental clarity and you got to have the energy to be able to perform at a high level. Mm. And so it all ties in. All of this stuff ties in.
Amazing guest. I already was a fan of his, but like you said, to see the intellectual aptitude, like, it's been a super informative week. Keys Monday, him today, amazing episode coming up tomorrow.
Julian, and that's for all you people that was like, oh my God, you
guys are off track.
What are you turning into? Shade room?
And the funny part about that, when people be like, yo, why y'all have Aisha or whomever, I never see y'all comment on the investing shit. I never see you. You gave out hundreds of stocks, entry points, 5x, 10x return. I never see you comment. It's a loss leader. Gotcha.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we talk about the deed theft going on in New York?
Yeah. That's disturbing. Let's play this clip, shall we?
When gentrification happens, everybody says you should have bought a home. But what happens when your home gets stolen from you? Well, I'm in Bedside, Brooklyn, and I'm here to talk about deed theft. I'm at 212 Jefferson Avenue, and unfortunately, the family that lives here is experiencing deed theft. But what is deed theft? Deed theft is a type of real estate fraud where someone illegally transfers ownership of a property into their name without the original owner knowing. Deed theft typically happens by targeting vulnerable properties such as homes owned outright, meaning they don't have a mortgage, vacant properties or second homes, and elderly owners, especially elderly owners, because they're usually not on top of their paperwork. They also sometimes forge documents, or sometimes they file documents to the city saying they own the property. After owning your property, they might sell the house to an unsuspecting buyer, or they might actually take out loans using your property as collateral, or they could even rent it out and collect money on your property. The craziest part about deed theft is that you might not even know that your house actually was a victim of deed theft until months later when the police show up and they tell you have to leave the property.
Hi, my name is Carmela Charrington. I live at 212 Jefferson.
My name is Ray Cortez. My father's a victim of deed theft at 91 St. Mark's Place.
200 Jefferson Avenue Block Association president. We've just been working with our community to help protect our neighbors.
I'm Chief Minister Omar Hardy. I'm the owner, in fact, of the Slave Theater and the Black Lady Theater as well. The Slave Theater was knocked down unlawfully and stolen from my family and the community by way of deed theft. And as well as the Black Lady Theater, stolen as well and away from my family and the community.
Hi, my name is Tashelle LeBlanc. I am an honorary resident of 212, Kamala's lifetime friend, 42 years.
This is a form of deed theft by conservatorship, guardianship. The conservatorship was in the state of Georgia. Georgia signed off with these shell developers and signed off and said that the property was for sale. They sold the property. It was in litigation. It was in court. They discontinued the case, and then they went amongst each other and signed off and said that they sold the property for whatever amount. And then they came into my house and broke in and said, we're the new owners of the property. Right.
Wow.
And then that's when the series of stuff have started, was saying, no, this is a deed theft case.
As a Bed-Stuy native, I stand with 212 Jefferson Avenue, and I want to keep people in Bed-Stuy. So I want their story to be told.
Okay. I heard about this before. It's Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I had heard about this before, but I never really knew exactly what it was going on. And I'm just seeing more and more clips on social media, and it's been popping up. So disturbing. What's your thoughts on this?
I keep saying, as soon as you accumulate the money, that's the first part of the game, the first phase. Phase 2 through 5 is you having to find out all the scams that people have to take your money away from you. Just like you have endless inflation, no one talks about it because it's a crass thing to do. But after you accumulate a certain amount of money, there's angles everyone in the world has to take your money away from you. This is one of them. Deed theft, a similar thing is happening in claiming of businesses or claiming of IP. You have to be worried about lawsuits. It's endless. The list of ways people can extract money from you. And even in health, you can accumulate all this money, and then no matter how much money you have, you can get sick. And people have run tabs up of $4 and $5 million trying to get healthy, or on the lower end in impoverished neighborhoods, $200,000 and $300,000 in chemo or kidney replacement or dialysis. Got to be careful. But what are your thoughts on this since you're in New York?
I saw somewhere that they were talking about legislation. They definitely need to have legislation, because that's just crazy enough that you could just file something with the clerk, and or you can just file something, and that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, and then you could just say I own it now because in this day and age of blockchain, once again, this goes back to technology, right? In this day and age of blockchain, because the last time I did something with real estate, I had to refinance a property. And man, I had to sign so many pieces of paper. It was at least 400 pieces of paper. And I said, look, this is definitely archaic, because there's definitely going to be mistakes made. There's no way I'm signing 400 papers. And you telling me, where's all this paper going? Who's filing it? Who's checking all of these pages? Like, this is a system ripe for mistakes. And so that whole real estate system needs to be completely overhauled. And it should be blockchain technology. That's where NFTs come into play. The NFT for your house, you're the only person with this particular, like, nobody, you can't just file a paper and say that I changed it, whatever. Yeah. But you got to stay on top of your stuff, man. You own a property. Make sure you pay your taxes, because that's another way they get you. Make sure you pay your taxes. Make sure that you staying up on it. Make sure that you stop in the property, or have somebody else stop in. But a lot of people are vulnerable, are older,
yeah,
or may have not the same mental capacity that they once had. and it leads to a lot of issues. So it's disheartening, but that's another, gentrification doesn't just happen just from a standpoint of you sell. Sometimes gentrification happens because you got swindled.
Yeah, or they force you out.
And that's not talked about enough either.
Yep.
I think even in LA, they had the whole Manhattan Beach and one of these things. A lot of black people in America have lost their land from being an intimate domain.
Yep.
Where the government took it. Mm-hmm. They were swindled out of it. That happened. That's not talked about enough either.
Enough. Nope. Got to be careful. And like you said, sit at the house. You're going to have the capacity and energy to make these other things a full-time job to protect the assets that you've accumulated. People going to, even with social media, accounts have been hacked, can't get them back. You have to spend a lot of time learning how to play defense at a high clip if you want to be successful. Like, you think you'll be able to get $2 million, $5 million and just rest? Not that easy. It's not that easy. So.
Okay.
Yeah. NBA playoffs start. I got a question for you. I got to ask.
Yes, sir.
NBA conspiracy time. You think the Mavericks got Cooper flagged as an offset for Luka being stolen from the Mavericks and put on LA?
I don't know, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think Dallas is a sports city. I think that definitely was a bad decision for them to get rid of Luka. Future looked, and you really got rid of one white superstar for another one, really. And the way that this dude Cooper Flagg's been playing, he might be better than all of them. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not.
When did they stop doing the little basket where they'll show the draft picks?
Are they stop doing that?
It's a few drafts. I was like,
yeah, the draft. There's always been San Antonio. They've benefited from the draft.
Legendary draft picks.
But also, there's a lot of teams that's benefited from the draft that just made bad decisions. So we can't always go by that. Cleveland. Remember, at one point, Cleveland was getting number 1 draft picks every single year.
That organization.
Now, granted, they did draft some good players, obviously. LeBron James, and they drafted Kyrie Irving.
Even that one's that's interesting. Who landed in Chicago? It's a few that's like, how'd that happen?
Yeah. It's not out of the realm, especially with all the sports betting that's been going on now, and we know how much money is being made. I would not say that it's impossible. I'll tell you how much. Anything is possible.
Shaq told the story. He was like, Stern was like, you either gonna go to Florida or LA. Pick. That's crazy. You think he the only one? Shout out to Adam Silver, NBA. Love y'all dearly. We're talking about the league before you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly, all that.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. It is interesting.
All right. Anything else we need to talk on?
No, we covered MAGA falling apart. Thank you for not having this Tupac conversation.
Yeah, no. Rest in peace to Pop.
Mm-mm. I was prepared. Thank you for not bringing up the Ben 10 conversation. Thank you. No, we good. D theft. Let's see. You got another favorite NBA conspiracy? Or no?
A favorite NBA conspiracy? I don't know. Because I feel like, I don't know. A lot of NBA conspiracies was kind of, you could say like, okay, the NBA always wants big market teams to win, but then the Knicks haven't won, and they're the biggest market.
That's true. That's a great point. What do I do? Oh, Kenyon brought up a great point, and I didn't think of it, but is Jokic a top 5 NBA center of all time?
Technically, yeah. I mean, I never really was a big Jokic fan, but I can't hate on it. Yeah, I'm not a Jokic fan.
You think more?
But technically, I think he said Kareem. It was Kareem, Shaq, Will Chamberlain, Kareem, Hakeem Olajuwon, and him. So I mean, the only other person would be who? Bill Russell would be in contention.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't think of that many. David Robinson.
Well, who else would you have? David Robinson. I don't think David Robinson was on that level.
No.
So Bill Russell is probably the only person.
Only one.
That is outside. That's outside that 5 that you could say deserves to be in that 5. Outside of that, yeah. I don't think there's any other competition.
Incredible season, yo.
Yeah, no, he put numbers up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he's probably top 5. I think he's top 5 for sure.
Yeah. You don't like his game?
I don't like his game.
It's boring?
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
His court vision is insane, though.
No, he's a great player, but it's just like me watching Luka. I mean, look, Luka is amazing. Me watching Joker and just like for the excitement level, I can't do it.
Yeah, he had moments to flash, but he is super fundamentally sound, though. He's tough, though.
He's
tough and a competitor.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right,
that's it. All
right, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, 12 o'clock, make sure you check out the episode with Julian Brown, turning plastic into fuel for your car. And then Troy's options class is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Tap in with that. Then Chicago, we will be in your area this weekend.
Chi-Town. Yep. Check a job for Stock Club prices. Next Stock Club call will be April 26th. I got some surprises. Tune in early. Love y'all. See y'all in Atlanta next weekend and video next week. So it's going to be a good time.
All right, y'all. We'll tap in with you guys. Peace.
Thank y'all for coming out. Peace. Be back to Toxic next week, though.